What's up, guys? What I wanted to do in this video is talk with y'all about a lot of the craziness that we're seeing in our country. Most of you all, I'm sure, have probably heard about all the craziness that's been going on in the news as far as the crisis at the border, the out-of-control inflation, the debt crisis, which that's a whole different topic, but anyways, I know that you guys have heard about all that. And I wanted to take a few minutes in this video to talk to you all why that I think that it is being deliberately done. I really think that the people that we have controlling our government right now are trying to intentionally destroy this country. I don't think that there is any denying it. And one of the things that I want to talk with you all about is why it's important to study history. If you study the history of the rise of the Bolsheviks in Russia in the early 1900s, the communists in all over the world, Venezuela, Cuba, everywhere, the Nazis, Nazi Germany, and wherever we see these out-of-control dictatorships, one of the things that we always see is that they are typically started as a reaction to some type of chaos. During the Tsar era in Russia in the early 1900s, the Bolsheviks gained control because of basically the disaster that was happening in Russia because of World War I. And guys, by all means, go look this stuff up for yourself. Verify what I'm telling you is the truth. We see the same thing within Germany. The rise of the Nazis came following basically the destruction of Germany because of World War I. They took the opportunity to seize power. We see with China, with Mao in China, the same thing, chaos. They seize control, and just on down the line. And we see within our own country all of the chaos that's happening now. Our system is being overwhelmed. Never before in this country would you ever imagine that veterans are being kicked out of shelters to make room for illegal immigrants. And guys, I'm not lying to you about that. Go look it up, and you will see that we have homeless veterans in this country that were kicked out of the shelter that they were living in just for the purpose of making room for more illegal immigrants, because our government refuses to follow the Constitution, Article 4 of the Constitution, one of the two. You guys let me know down in the comments exactly which one it is. But they are refusing to protect the states from invasion. That's just all that can be said, which is a constitutional mandate by the federal government, or that is on the federal government. They're flat out refusing to do it. And, I cannot help but think that it is being done deliberately. We're being deliberately divided with all of the insanity that's going on with what's happening in our schools and everything else. And they're using 0.5% of the population, and they're playing it up as if that is half the population of this country, and it is by no means that. And it's just a way for them to drive a wedge. And I have been reading a book recently that it really gets into some of this stuff, the division, the reasons why we need a cohesive society and things like that, and why you would divide a society. There again, divide and conquer. That's an old mantra, an old tactic of warfare. But what I wanted to do in this video, or what I wanted to show you all in this video, within the book that I'm reading, and I'm just going to flip this camera around and show you guys this book. Here it is. Resistance Operating Concept. Okay, here's the author. But I want you to see exactly some of the folks that are backing this book. Joint Special Operations University Press, If you look at the forward to this book, written by Major General Kirk Smith, Brigadier General Anders. I'm not even going to pronounce that last name, guys. I would butcher it. But this book is one that is very interesting. A very interesting book. There's a lot of things in here that are eye-opening, I should say. Not necessarily eye-opening, but very intriguing. Let's just put it that way. And I want to show you all one of those. Okay, let's read this. The prerequisites for a successful resistance. And we're going to get into a little more about what the intention of this book is here in just a moment. But let's read. A strong foundation of resilience is necessary to engage in a successful resistance against an aggressor. A highly resilient population can be created through the development of a strong national identity. Okay, let's read that again. Okay? A highly resilient population can be created through the development of a strong national identity, accompanied by a preparation to overcome crisis, which strengthens a nation's will to resist. Now, the purpose behind this book is it was intended as a guidebook for folks, non-military personnel really, but I would have to say I think virtually anyone. If you read the foreword that were written by the two gentlemen, if you read the introduction to the book, you'll see the purpose behind it, and I will link it down in the description of this video. You can get this off of Amazon. It's a good book. What we're seeing in our country is the deliberate destruction of the resilience that our forefathers had, that our ancestors had. And again, I think it's being done deliberately. I think that it is a deliberate weakening of our country. And this is something that we need to be aware of, and we need to push back against it. Because, if we are to use history as a guide, which we should, you're going to see that the same, I guess you could say, political philosophies of communism, of socialism, and all these isms out there that do nothing but lead to mass destruction and in many cases mass carnage. They're pushing it here, and we need to push back. We need to educate ourselves. We need to stick together. We need to form those resilient communities. I'm talking local communities, small towns, small communities, your neighborhoods. Build up that resilience, and that's how we can push back. And that is also one of the reasons why I think that we're seeing so much of a push for gun control. Again, it is a way to weaken our society. The political leaders that we have now, follow money. Look where they're heavily invested at. They're not invested in the United States the way they once were. They're invested in China. They're invested in all these overseas national, multinational corporations. So for them, they don't care about the U.S. I honestly believe that they just simply do not care. But many of us do. Today's Memorial Day, as of the time that I'm recording this, and we need to honor the sacrifice our veterans made by not giving up the freedoms that they fought so hard to obtain. Okay? A lot of folks paid a very high price. They paid the ultimate sacrifice for the freedoms that we are literally handing away. But guys, just a quick video that I wanted to do. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Check out the links down in the description there again. I'll put a link to this book. Highly recommend it. Great book. Eye-opening book. But anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Check out the rest of the videos on the channel. Give me a thumbs up, and we'll see you next time.